Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with CircWorks, and this is another installment of Mad Props. Typically when I do Mad Props, you'll see me in my garage working on creating some step-by-step kind of tutorials on building different props or whatever. Today I'm not in my garage. I'm actually in my living room, and there's a reason for that. I'm working on a Comic-Con booth display. Well, not a Comic-Con booth display. I designed a booth. This is a table, and if you don't know the difference, a table is usually smaller. It's usually, you get like a 6-foot table, and a booth is like a 10 by 10 space. So I've got this new convention coming up. I just decided to get a smaller setup this time. So I'm going to take what I had for my booth and kind of change it around and see if I can make it work as a table. And in order to do that, I've got a lot of products and things. So because I don't have as much space, you know, I don't have as much real estate as far as on the ground, I'm going to try to build up a little bit. So my garage ceiling height is only yay big. In here it's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to just test it out in here. So hopefully I can do that and have it make sense without all the other stuff going on around here. Anyway, so this is one of the pieces, and if you watch the last video, this is a piece of my booth, which is also a piece to the new video series that I'm doing. If you saw that, you saw how I put it together, and I had to take all that stuff down so I can use these same exact pieces. So these are going to perform a couple of different tasks. They're a couple, you know, serve a few different functions. One for whatever Comic-Con booth display I'm working on, whether it's a table or a booth or whatever, or for my set design for the video series. So I've got a lot of these things, and but I just ordered this. This is something I want to show you. This is a Ravelli Stand. It's pretty cool. It's in this bag. We're going to take a look at this. Pardon the noise. I've got the door open so I have some light in here, some natural light. And the cars make some noise when they drive by. But anyway, yeah, I got this. I ordered this, and I'll explain a little bit what this is. But it is, it's usually, most people use it for lighting, like when you're doing photography shoots or whatever. It's a couple tripods and a crossbar and everything. But this should work really well for the table that I'm working on. We'll see if we can affix the different pieces, the foam pieces that I showed you, to this stand, and we'll see how it looks. So let's take a look inside the bag and open up this Ravelli Stand and check it out. Alright, so this is the bag that this Ravelli Stand comes in, and I was really impressed because this, as far as photography equipment goes, this really isn't that expensive of a setup. It's I think I got this for like $120, and they actually have one that's a little less expensive. It's just under $100. This particular model, and I'll put a link to this in the YouTube comment section, but this is recommended to me by Daniel over at Steam Crow. He's got a huge booth, so he's got tons of these, but he highly recommended this. And a lot of people that do Comic Cons do use this. So yeah, so this one's a little taller than the less expensive one. Let me flip this around. But like I said, for what it is, I was really impressed with the bag and everything that it came in. Everything's separated. It's got its own little sleeves in it. This here is one of the components. There's two of these, and then there's some crossbars that you can adjust the height. But this one here, it's telescoping. Telescopicing? I don't know how you say that. It's like a telescope. But anyway, you can pull these out, and you know, you can raise it to pretty much any height you want. I mean, it goes, I know it goes higher than 12 feet. I forgot how big this actually goes, but usually any show you go to, they're not going to let you go to over 12 feet. So, so this will do great for my purposes. There's another, that's the other side. And then you've got all these crossbars, which for me, I think I'm only going to need like 2 of these because of the space that I'm limited to. But like I said, I'm going to build up. So that's one of the main reasons I got this. And usually when you exhibit at a Comic-Con, you've got, they'll supply like the pipe and drape. So you'll have a backdrop with some, I don't know if it's like, what do you call that stuff? Like speed rail or whatever. And it's, you know, it's got the drapes and everything over it. So usually you've got that. But this is good whether, you know, if you go to a, something outside or something where they don't have any kind of setup provided for you, or like I said, I'm going to go higher, so I'm going to use this instead. I'm going to go, you know, higher than what they're giving me, which is probably about 8 feet tall. I'm going to try to go. I don't know if I'll need to go to 6 feet or not, but if I need to, I can. It even comes with these. I don't know what I'll use these for, but I'm sure I'll find a use for them. A couple of these, and yeah, so I can, and I think I forget how far across this goes, but probably more than what I will need. So yeah, let's set this thing up. All right, so here we can see the stand. It's just right now it's just at its lowest height, so I can raise that up. But then I just realized I got a ceiling fan up here, and then I was going to move it, but I've got a Christmas tree over here, so I got to find a place where I can get this. If I move it forward a little bit, I can raise it up a little higher. But yeah, it's a really nice display. This thing, you know, it's got 3 different sections here that I can expand it, so it'll go pretty high. I'll get those exact specs and I'll let you guys know. One of the unfortunate things is it does have kind of a big footprint just because of the tripod. But you know, what can you do really? You can, one of the things I might be able to do is if I just fold the tripod up and then secure it to the existing pipe that is there on site, I might be able to do that. But this shouldn't be too big of a problem. I can step it over. Just as long as I have a little bit on either side of the booth, because it does come out a little bit further here, so it might be invading the other person's booth. So it's a good friend to always make friends with whoever your neighbors are, just in case that's a problem. But if it is, then I'll deal with it then, and I'll figure something else out. But so I'm going to try to move this thing over, raise it up a bit, and then we're going to start putting the different sections on here and see how that looks, the little foam sections, to make the that kind of backdrop, that crazy, whimsical, I don't know what you call it, kind of wacky Willy Wonka-esque background. So, okay, back once again. I'll just show you this. This is my table, which is designed to look like a conveyor belt. And later on, after I show all this other stuff, I'll probably kind of just do a real quick run through on all the merchandise and everything that's going to go up on this table. It's always a good idea to, when you're doing a display, to do all this stuff beforehand so you know what it's all going to look like and take pictures of it, so when you get to the show, there's no surprises, and there will always be surprises. But so anyway, here is now this is the backdrop of the display, and this right now is going about it's about 10.5 feet up there. And forgive me, I don't know what that comes out to in metric for anyone who's not in America. But you can do a conversion if you need to. Anyway, so like I said, I can go like 12 feet up. So I mean, actually, I can go way. I can this has a whole nother. Here, let me go in the back here. I'll show you. This is kind of what it looks like from the back. You can see, and I don't know if you can tell here, but where these extend. There's still a whole nother extension up there, so that I haven't even used. So I know I can definitely go 12 feet. And before, I think in the video I said something about 6 feet. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, 6 feet's not going to do it. But I know I can. As far as the rules and everything for the convention, I can go up 12 feet. The problem is I don't know if I can reach that far with this ladder I have, and that's the only ladder I have. So, but we'll see. There might be a way that I can go up a little higher. My biggest concern is because, so the as far as the width of this, 6 feet is not, sorry, not 6. Yeah, about 6 feet is what they're giving me for a table. So I don't know if that includes the backdrop as well. I don't know what the other people around me are using, or if they're going to mind if this comes over a little bit. But I'm going to have to come up with a plan B just in case. I mean, obviously I'd like it to be at this size, but the problem is you can't go, these bars, you can't go like any, it's probably about 6 feet 2 inches wide. And that's just the bar. You need at least 2 bars on top with what they give you. And unfortunately that, because these have to straddle on either side, so that even adds more width, if you can see, because it's right attached to the middle there. So that, you know, I'm coming over, I'm getting a little iffy on how much space they're going to give me and what I have. So my plan B is this. I've got a PVC pole that's a little bit, I don't know if you can see from here, but it's going to be a little bit shorter, that I can try to figure out how to mount that to the top, so I won't be able to use the things that the poles, the cross poles that came with it. If that's the case, if I have to make it shorter, and I'll definitely need to go taller. I'll definitely need to go up to the 12 feet if I have to make this smaller, because it would have to come in considerably. So, you know, like I said, you really want to have a backup plan, and that goes with anything. It goes with any supplies, any like hangers or anything you have. Make sure you have extras. Make sure you're prepared, because once you get there, chances are there's going to be some problems you're going to run into. But anyway, so that's that. And then of course, I just ordered some. I think it's called bird netting, and I think it's just to keep birds out of your garden. But that's gonna, it's black, so it should blend in with this backdrop. I'm gonna drop that, and then I can just pop my signs, my artwork up anywhere, because it's just like a big net. And I've seen people use this before at other conventions, and I haven't used it yet, but it seems like it'll be really easy. Before I was just stringing lines across, like string, and then hanging them like a clothesline, the prints. The problem is, because the weight of the prints, it droops down, and I don't want that. So we'll see what that looks like when I get that. I should get that in a couple days. But for now, I'm gonna have to pull this whole thing down. Now that I know this will work, because at first I had to test all these pieces out, because this is meant for a larger display, and I just needed to make sure that I can, you know, that they'll work in this configuration. So now that I know that, I'll document that with the photographs. And then, like I said, I'm going to take this down. I'm going to build the thinner, the one where the width isn't as wide. Width isn't as wide. I guess that's a. Anyway, so it won't be as wide. I'll try it with that PVC pole that I made. We'll see what it looks like, and then I'll take some pictures of that too, just in case. And then, like I said, once that's all done, I will start setting up all my products on the table to see how everything works, and because I'm dealing with a lot less space than I usually do, because I usually have a bigger booth, but that's why I'm going to try to go vertical as much as I can, and that's good for prints and stuff. But I got all kinds of other products and things like that too. I've got little lab items, and you know, what else do I have? Little trading cards, and of course the comic books and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what it looks like. But for now, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this came out, and this is something I wanted to explain. Okay, before I go to the next segment, before I pull all this stuff down. So, as I mentioned before, everything is all stuck together with Velcro. I've got these little, I don't know, these are for securing pipes to walls or whatever, and I put Velcro on the back of those, and then I just pop those on, and then just all the way across, and that's how all that stuff stays on there. So anyway, that's kind of my setup. But yeah, so let me take this down, and then we're gonna see what it looks like on the smaller scale, which is gonna be my backup plan. Okay, I'm back once again. Now this is the second setup. This is actually the thinner setup, as far as the width, and actually I kind of like it. I was able to get 4 prints across, as you can see, that was about all I was going to be able to get in the longer the longer one, the wider setup. So I'll probably just set it up like this because just so I don't have to worry about it. You know, I would have a little more width on the other ones, but I don't think I need it. It was a little challenging, like on the top. You can see I kind of had to fudge a few things together to make it look right because I didn't have any pieces that were short enough to fit at that size. But I managed to make it work, and I think it looks pretty good. The sign is pretty snug, but I think that works too. I think it kind of fits in the whole kind of everything kind of crammed in weird wacky look of it. So not too concerned about that. But yeah, so I'm kind of digging it. So I did kind of lay out some of the prints here. I may have rearranged some of them, but I just wanted to see how they fit here. I got that bird netting stuff. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of looks like this. This isn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. The stuff that I've seen other people use is a little different, but this will work. It's really the I don't know, these little squares or whatever, really small. I was hoping for something a little wider, but this should work for what I need. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm about 11 feet. I may be able to go 12 feet. My biggest concern before about going 12 feet was just because my ladder over here. I just got a 6-foot ladder, so I wouldn't be able to reach. But what I ended up doing was I set it all up because, like I showed you before, these poles extend on either side. So I set the top part up on the ground, and then I gradually, and I did it all by myself. I didn't even need an extra person, which an extra person would be helpful, but I just gradually extended one pole a little bit at a time, back and forth until I got it to that height. And then once I got it up to where I wanted, then I put all the rest of the side pieces down. So yeah, that's the good thing, because I'm going to be setting this up probably on a Thursday. And my girlfriend is going to be at work, and my kids are at school, so I don't really have anyone to help me set it up. But yeah, I think I can manage to set all this up myself, which is pretty good for this kind of setup. Usually that's not the case. Usually need help, but yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. And of course, we'll see when we get to the show what happens. Also, I started to lay out some of the stuff on my table. I've got a lot less room to work with this time. So I'm still fiddling around with what I want where. These are my I just call them lab products right now, but there's like slime, and they've got like little descriptions and things on here, and each one of them comes with a mini print. So I want to focus on those, so I've got those kind of raised up, and then they all come in like gift boxes, which hopefully will be good for the holiday season. And I'm not exact. I want to also focus on my comics. I'm not sure right now. It's just down here, kind of you know, nondescript, which I want to put more attention on that. So I'll probably have that raised above here a little bit. I got my monster trading cards, my mix and match monster trading cards, and although it does take up some space on the table, I like to leave some loose cards here because kids always want to come by and build the little monsters, and then usually, hopefully, they beg their parents to get them. So that's the weird thing about a lot of the stuff that I'm selling. It's like the problem is some of it's more geared towards kids. I mean, I was hoping it'd be more people like myself who are kind of kids at heart that would see this stuff and like, oh, that's cool, which I get some of that too, but it's the kids, you know. So I'm trying to get some other products and things like that that'll appeal more towards adults. But you know, my stuff is usually pretty kid friendly anyway, so I like to leave some of these on the table so they can play around with those, and then pick up a deck or a pack or whatever. Let's see, over here I've got my buttons and magnets, and the thing about these is it's almost like I've put them back before where people can kind of see, but it's away from, not up to the front, and they usually always sell better when they're up front. But you know, at a $1 a pop, I guess I'm not too concerned if I don't sell a whole lot of them, so I might put these back here. We'll see. You never know. Each show's different. I've got some of my original fan art here, which I'll have to build like a little display where people can flip through. I still have like these pop culture prints, which I'm not going to display too prominently on here, but I'm going to build another little piece here that I can kind of, people can flip through those or whatever, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think I can fit most of the products on this table. Like I said, I still got to mess around a little bit about with the layouts and stuff for that, but I'll probably take some video at the show, and I don't know if I'll post that or what I'll do with that, but anyway, yeah, so again, I'm pretty happy with the way everything's looking so far. I kind of wish I had two more prints here. I've got a space, so I just had to put my other little circ worker guy there, but that should be fine. So so yeah, that is my booth for Phoenix Fan Fest 2014. So if you happen to be in the Phoenix area around December 12th through the 14th, 2014, which is, if you're watching this, if you're watching this a week from now, then it's too late. But if you're watching this pretty close to the time that I posted it, then yeah, it's not too late. So I'd love to see you guys, anyone stop by, and yeah, just stop by and say hi, and I will be there hawking my wares. Anyway, so this concludes another and what is this? Oh, yeah, this is Mad Props. So although I don't know if I showed you really how to build anything. Well, kind of. I mean, I explained a few things, and of course this isn't really going to be applicable to anything most people are doing. But I just thought I'd give you a little behind the scenes look at how I do my booth, and you know, if you guys ever are interested in exhibiting at Comic-Cons, you need any advice or anything like that, yeah, let me know. And other than that, if I don't see you at Phoenix Fan Fest this weekend, I will see you in I don't know, probably Fan Art Friday coming up. I have to figure out how to do that because I won't actually be here on Friday. I'll be exhibiting, but we'll figure all that stuff out. And until then, that is all.